Welcome back. Today, we explore the value of these most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins that are sold for thousands of dollars. Let's get started. First up today, we're going to take a look at a 1998 Washington quarter that's a bit rough around the edges. Literally, this coin is in full damage condition, yet it still holds some surprising value. How is that possible? Stick around as we dive deep into the world of damaged coins and explore why this 1998 large-date Washington quarter with P mint mark could still fetch some dollars at auction. First, let's take a good look at this coin. You can see right away that this 1998 Washington quarter has seen better days. The large date is clearly visible, and the P mint mark tells us that this quarter was minted in Philadelphia. But what stands out the most is the full damage condition. We're talking about heavy scratches, some visible corrosion, and a dull, worn look that most collectors would shy away from. Now, normally, a coin in this kind of condition would be considered almost worthless, especially for collectors looking for high-quality specimens. However, damaged coins can still have a place in the market, especially for those who are looking for affordable additions to their collections or even for investors who want to speculate on coins that are harder to find in any condition. So, what's the 1998 Washington quarter with P mint mark in full damage condition worth in today's market? Typically, this coin would fall in the lower range of values, around $1 to $3. But don't be too quick to dismiss it just because it's damaged. For one, coins like these still have the historical significance of the year they were minted and their role in. But here's the kicker. Damaged coins can sometimes sell for more than expected depending on the auction or the collector's interests. For instance, there's always a demand for Washington quarters, and some collectors will buy even damaged versions because they need to complete their sets. Sometimes, the damage on a coin adds a unique story or a piece of character. Think of it as a coin that's lived a full life. At auction, the 1998 Washington quarter with the P mint mark in this damaged condition might actually attract a handful of bidders, especially if it's one of those rare, hard-to-find versions that might not be in circulation anymore. Even though it's been through its fair share of wear, auctions are where you might see unexpected interest from someone looking to add it to a collection, perhaps at a lower price than if it were in better condition. When compared to a pristine 1998 Washington quarter, it's easy to see why the damaged version is priced lower. A mint condition quarter from the same year could be worth upwards of $6 to $10 or more, depending on its grade. But, as we've seen time and time again in the world of numismatics, condition isn't everything. It's not always about the perfect coin. It's about what a buyer is willing to pay and what a seller is asking. Damaged coins, especially from popular series like the Washington quarters, might not fetch top dollar, but they still have intrinsic value. The P mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia, and for collectors focused on acquiring all variations of the Washington quarter, even the damaged versions play a role. There's always a market for these coins, especially for those just starting their collections or looking to complete a set. It's also worth noting that the 1998 Washington quarter is part of the ongoing series of quarters featuring George Washington, making it an essential part of American coinage history. While the 1998 coin doesn't have any special errors or rare features, its P mint mark and large date make it valuable to those who are focused on mint variations. Even in full damage condition, it's still part of a broader story in the world of US coinage. And sometimes, it's that story that adds value to a coin, not just the condition. In conclusion, the 1998 Washington quarter with a P mint mark in full damage condition may not break any records, but it certainly holds value for the right collector or investor. Expect to see it sold for around $1 to $3, though the price could fluctuate depending on the auction or the collector market. So, if you come across one of these in your collection or in your pocket change, don't dismiss it right away. While it might not be the crown jewel of your collection, it still has a story to tell and could be worth more than you think. Next up, the 1995 Washington quarter, a coin with a large date and the P mint mark, all in fine condition. If you're curious about the value of this coin in today's market, stick around because this quarter is more than meets the eye. Let's take a closer look at this 1995 Washington quarter. You'll notice the large date is distinct, and the P mint mark indicates that it was struck in Philadelphia. The condition here is fine, which means it shows moderate wear with some details still visible. The George Washington portrait on the obverse is still clear, and the eagle on the reverse is still distinguishable despite the wear from years of circulation. Now, for many collectors, fine condition means that the coin has seen its fair share of time in circulation, but it's still got life left in it. The details are not as sharp as in a coin in very fine or extremely fine condition, but it still holds historical significance. So, what's the value of a 1995 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark in fine condition? In today's market, you're looking at a value in the range of $4 to $6. Now, this might seem like a modest price, but when you break it down, this coin's value comes from its historical context and the fact that it's part of the long-running Washington quarter series. But why is it worth more than face value? First, let's take a moment to remember that the Washington quarter series has been around since 1932, and it's been minted every year since then. Except for a few special editions, that means the 1995 coin, even though it's part of a standard issue, still has its place in the lineup of classic US coins. When it comes to auction prices, you'll likely see the 1995 Washington quarter selling for slightly above its face value, especially if it's in fine condition. While this coin isn't going to break any records like some of the more rare or error coins, it still has an appeal to collectors. Coins like this are often sought after by those who are looking to complete their collections of Washington quarters, or even those who are after coins from specific years or mint marks. In fact, the P mint mark gives this coin a bit of a special touch. Some collectors focus on specific mint marks to create a comprehensive collection, and for them, a 1995 quarter with a P mint mark in fine condition is an essential part of the puzzle. It's also important to note that condition plays a big role in a coin's value. While fine condition quarters are great for collectors looking for more affordable options, those looking for a pristine 1995 Washington quarter might opt for one in very fine or extremely fine condition, which could fetch anywhere from $8 to $12 or more. However, the fine condition version remains a great deal for those on a budget. So, how do you preserve a coin like this? It's essential to keep it in a coin holder or a protective case to prevent any further damage. While the coin is already in fine condition, ensuring it stays that way will help maintain its value, and if you ever decide to sell it, presenting it in a good holder can make all the difference. For those looking to sell, you can expect to see the 1995 Washington quarter fetching around $4 to $6 in auctions or online marketplaces. Depending on the demand at the time and the specific interest of collectors, you might see prices that slightly fluctuate. While it's not a rare error coin or a special edition, the large date and P mint mark still give this quarter a unique spot in the marketplace. For collectors, it's always exciting to discover coins like the 1995 Washington quarter in your pocket change or during your coin hunts. You might not find this particular coin every day, but it holds value for the right person, whether it's a seasoned collector or a newcomer looking to add a well-worn piece of American coinage to their collection. So to wrap it up, the 1995 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark in fine condition isn't going to make you a fortune, but it's a solid find that has historical value and a steady spot in the market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this coin remains a crucial part of the Washington quarter series and will continue to be appreciated for its role in US coinage history. Next up, the 1984 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark, specifically in very fine condition. While it may not be the most talked about coin in the world of numismatics, it certainly deserves its moment in the spotlight. Stick around as we dive into the value of this coin in today's market and discover why it might just be worth more than you think. First off, let's take a closer look at this particular 1984 Washington quarter. The large date is easy to spot, and it's a feature that stands out among other quarters from the same year. As for the P mint mark, that tells us this coin was struck in Philadelphia. The obverse side features George Washington, and the reverse shows the familiar eagle perched with its wings. The condition we're talking about here is very fine, which means the coin has seen some circulation, but the details are still quite sharp. You'll notice some wear on the high points, but the Washington portrait remains clear and bold, and the eagle is still easily identifiable. It's a beautiful example of how a coin can retain its character even after years of being in circulation. For those new to coin collecting, the very fine condition refers to a coin that has visible wear but still retains much of its original detail. There's a slight loss of definition on the high parts of the design, like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, but it's still in great shape compared to more worn-down examples. When it comes to value, a 1984 Washington quarter in very fine condition isn't going to break the bank, but it still commands more than just face value. In fact, in today's market, you can expect this coin to sell for around $4 to $6, a decent return on your investment if you come across one in your collection. But you might be asking, why does it command this price, despite being a relatively common coin? Let's take a moment to discuss why collectors are willing to pay a premium for this specific quarter. The 1984 Washington quarter is a part of the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932 and continues to this day. While this particular year isn't known for any major errors or rare variations, collectors still seek out coins like this one because it's a well-preserved piece of American history. And here's the key. Coins in fine or very fine condition are always in demand because they provide a balance between being affordable and still showing a significant amount of detail. For collectors looking to fill out their Washington quarter collections or add a high-quality example from the 1980s, a 1984 large date with P mint mark coin in very fine condition is a perfect fit. At an auction, this coin would likely be sold for a bit more, especially if the demand is high. Auction prices can fluctuate depending on the current market, but you can generally expect this coin to fetch somewhere between $4 and $8, a small but steady value for a coin that's not exactly rare but still holds appeal for collectors. If you're looking to buy or sell one of these coins, online marketplaces like eBay or heritage auctions are great places to start. Prices will depend on the specific coin's condition and how much interest there is at the time of sale, but for most very fine examples, you can expect to get a price close to that $4 to $6 range. If it's in particularly great very fine condition, or if there's any additional history attached, it could push the price even higher. Of course, if you're holding on to one of these quarters in your collection, proper care is essential. To preserve the very fine condition and protect its value, you should store it in a coin holder or a protective case. This will help prevent any further wear or damage, ensuring it stays in great shape for years to come. For collectors who are just starting out or looking to add an affordable, historically significant coin to their collection, the 1984 Washington quarter with the large date and P mint mark in very fine condition is an excellent choice. It's a coin that's accessible yet offers the potential for future value appreciation, especially if the Washington quarter series becomes more sought after as time goes on. In conclusion, the 1984 Washington quarter with the large date and P mint mark in very fine condition may not be the highest priced coin in the market today, but it's still a valuable piece of American coinage. Whether you're a new collector or a seasoned pro, this coin is a solid addition to any collection. And who knows, its value might increase over time, especially if demand for these classic quarters continues to grow. Next up, the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark holds some fascinating potential in today's market. While this particular coin might seem like a simple piece of US currency, its value in good condition is far from ordinary. Let's dive into what makes this coin unique and what it's worth in today's market. This is a 1965 Washington quarter, and if you're familiar with US coinage, you might notice something a little different right off the bat: the absence of a mint mark. Coins from this era were struck at multiple mints across the United States, but not all coins carry a mint mark, and this particular quarter was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The 1965 quarter is also significant because it was the first year that the US government stopped using 90 silver in quarters. Instead, this coin is made of a cupronickel-clad composition. That's right, while earlier quarters were made of nearly pure silver, This quarter was made with a mixture of copper and nickel, a major change in US coinage history. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. It's graded as good condition, which means this coin has seen its fair share of circulation. If you look closely, you'll notice that the details are quite worn, especially around the high points. Washington's hairline and the eagle's feathers are not as sharp as they once were, but the general outline and key features of the coin remained visible. Coins in good condition typically show signs of wear, but still retain their identity and readability. For a 1965 Washington quarter, this is an important detail. If you're just starting out as a coin collector or you're looking to add some diversity to your collection, this good condition 1965 quarter might just be what you need. So what's the value of this coin? While the 1965 Washington quarter may not be as rare as some other coins, it does hold some value for collectors, particularly those looking to complete sets or add coins with historical significance. In good condition, a 1965 Washington quarter is typically worth around $10 to $15 in today's market. While it's not a fortune, it's still a nice little piece of American history, and given that it's a part of a significant change in US coinage transitioning from silver to clad, it has a place in the hearts of many collectors. At an auction, this coin could fetch anywhere from $18 to $25, depending on the exact condition and demand at the time. Auctions are a great way to find unique buyers who are specifically looking for coins like this, and if you're lucky, you might be able to sell it for a bit more if the bidding gets competitive. It's worth noting that while the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark isn't the highest valued quarter in the Washington series, it still holds its own in the world of coin collecting. It's a coin that bridges two significant eras before and after the shift from silver to clad quarters, and for many collectors, that's a story worth preserving. Taking care of this coin is just as important as understanding its value. If you plan on keeping your 1965 Washington quarter in your collection, consider using a coin holder or protective case to ensure its condition doesn't deteriorate. Proper storage helps preserve the coin's surface and prevents additional damage, which can affect its value. For collectors who are looking to fill out their Washington quarter collection, this coin is a great option. It's widely available, and while it may not fetch the high prices of rare coins, it's still a fantastic addition for those interested in collecting coins from all decades of the 20th century. Whether you're just starting out or looking to expand your collection, don't overlook the 1965 Washington. To wrap up, the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark in good condition may not be the most exciting or rare coin in the market, but it's still valuable in its own right. Its historical significance, coupled with its place in the Washington quarter series, makes it a desirable coin for collectors and a great investment for those looking to build a comprehensive collection. In today's market, expect to see it selling for anywhere between $35 and $44, with auction prices occasionally reaching higher values. Next up, the 1989 Washington quarter with the large date and the P mint mark in fine condition. While this coin might not be as well known as others, it holds a significant spot in the world of numismatics, and its value is rising steadily in today's market. Let's take a closer look at this unique piece of American coinage and discover its value in today's market. This is the 1989 Washington quarter with the large date, featuring the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the eagle design on the reverse. But what really sets this coin apart is its large date and the P mint mark, which indicates it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. If you take a look at the large date feature, you'll notice the numbers are noticeably larger compared to other years of the Washington quarter series, which gives it a unique appearance. It's a subtle but significant detail that collectors look for when identifying this specific coin. Now, you may be wondering what's the difference between the large date and the small date variations. Well, in 1989, the US Mint struck both versions of the quarter, and the large date variety has become the more sought after of the two. The difference is mostly visual, but collectors place a premium on the larger date because of its rarity compared to the smaller variety. This particular coin is in fine condition, which means it's seen some circulation. The details are still legible, but you can see the wear and minor abrasions on the surface, especially around the high points like George Washington's hairline, and in fine condition, the coin still maintains its identity and the design is clearly visible, but it's not in pristine shape. So how much is this 1989 Washington quarter worth? In fine condition, this coin generally trades for around $3 to $5 in today's market. It's not a coin that's going to make you a millionaire, but it still holds a special place in many collections. For a collector, the appeal lies in the large date variety and the P mint mark, which adds some rarity to the piece. However, if you manage to find this coin in higher grades, say extra fine or ungraded, the value can rise significantly. In those grades, it could sell for as much as $10 to $20, especially if it's well preserved and free from heavy marks or abrasions. At an auction, this coin could fetch a bit more than its usual market value, depending on the demand. If multiple collectors are after it, you could see bids push the value upwards. Coins like this are often sold at coin shows or online auctions, where collectors come together to find unique pieces to add to their collections. If you're looking to keep your 1989 Washington quarter in excellent condition, it's important to store it properly. Using a protective coin holder or slab helps prevent further wear and tear, keeping the coin in the best possible condition. Not only will it protect the coin from dirt and scratches, but it also preserves the value of your investment. For collectors looking to complete a Washington quarter set, the 1989 large date is a must-have. It adds variety and character to the collection, and because of its unique large date and mint mark features, it's one whether you're just getting started or you've been collecting for years, this 1989 quarter is a great addition. Next up, the 1991 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark. And we're going to take a look at its value in extra fine condition in today's market. The 1991 Washington quarter may not be as flashy as some of its counterparts, but there's something special about it that collectors are starting to notice. If you're lucky enough to have one of these quarters in your collection, especially in extra fine condition, you could have a valuable piece on your hands. Let's dive into the details and see what makes this coin so sought. First, let's talk about the large date variation. In 1991, the US Mint struck both large and small date versions of the Washington quarter, and the large date variety stands out as a favorite among collectors. The difference: it's in the size of the numbers used for the year. The large date variation features noticeably larger digits, giving it a distinct look compared to the small date. This subtle feature makes the large date quarters a prized find for many collectors. On the obverse, we see the familiar image of George Washington, while the reverse displays the bold eagle design. The D mint mark on this coin indicates it was minted at the Denver Mint. It's important to note that the D mint mark quarters from 1991 are typically more common, but the large date feature adds a level of rarity that collectors value. Now, let's talk about condition. This 1991 Washington quarter is in extra fine condition, meaning that it's seen some circulation, but the details are still sharp. You'll notice light wear, especially on the high points of the design, but it still maintains a lot of its original luster. The portrait of Washington is clear, and the eagle's feathers are still defined. It's a coin that has been well cared for, and in this condition, it holds significant value in the marketplace. So, how much is this 1991 Washington quarter worth in extra fine condition? This coin typically sells for around $5 to $7 in today's market. While it's not one of the highest priced quarters out there, its large date and D mint mark combination make it a sought-after piece for collectors, especially those trying to complete a Washington quarter series. But that's not the end of the story. If you happen to find this coin in higher grades, like uncirculated or proof condition, you could see a substantial increase in value. Coins in pristine condition can go for $10 or more, especially if they're well preserved. At auctions, this quarter can fetch a little more than its average market value. In a competitive bidding environment, especially among seasoned collectors, this 1991 large date quarter could go for $10 to $20 or even more, depending on the demand and the quality of the coin. If you've got a 1991 Washington quarter in extra fine condition, it's a good idea to keep it protected. Consider using a protective coin holder or even getting it slabbed by a professional grading service. This helps preserve the coin's details and ensures it remains in top condition for years to come, which is key if you're looking to hold onto it as a potential investment. The 1991 Washington Quarter may not be the flashiest coin in the series, but it's definitely one that holds a unique charm for collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, this large date variety with the D mint mark is a fantastic addition to any collection. To wrap up, the 1991 Washington Quarter with the large date and D mint mark in extra fine condition has a solid value of around $35 to $40 in the current market. While it's not going to make you rich, it's a piece that adds diversity and value to your collection. And if you're lucky enough to find one in higher grades, the value could go up significantly. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, tricks, and insights into rare and valuable coins. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1991 Washington Quarter in your collection, or if you're looking for other coins with great investment potential. We'd love to hear from you.